This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
The U.S. average retail gasoline price fell to $4.495 a gallon on Tuesday, slipping below $4.50 for the first time in 9 weeks. Data from the American Automobile Association, AAA, showed. The price of U.S. gasoline averaged more than $5 a gallon for the first time ever on July 11, but since then prices have come down, as overall supply has increased and U.S. demand has moderated to some extent, in part due to higher rates. The White House has tried a number of efforts to reduce prices, including a release of 180 million barrels of oil from the nation's strategic reserves designed to flood the market with supply.
Oil prices fell 2% on Tuesday after soaring by more than $5 barrel in the previous session, weighed by fears that an economic slowdown will hit oil demand, but tight supplies and a weaker dollar curbed some losses. Brent crude futures for September settlement fell $1.62 or 1.5% to $104.65 a barrel by 11:53 GMT. The contract rose 5.1% on Monday, the biggest percentage gain since April 12. WTI crude futures for August delivery fell by $1.87, or 1.8%, to $100.73 a barrel. The contract climbed 5.1% on Monday and the largest percentage gain since May 11.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Indonesia is very likely to delay the rollout of biodiesel with 35% palm oil content, known as B35, which was previously expected to start on July 20, Energy Ministry official Dardan Castellana said on Tuesday. Authorities want to increase the bio content in fuel to help reduce a huge stock of palm oil in Indonesia resulting from a 3-week export ban which ended on May 23 and with ongoing shipment restrictions still in place. Indonesia, which is the world's biggest palm oil producer, currently has a mandatory B30 program, which means 30% of the fuel is made from palm oil.
Saudi Arabia's crude oil exports in May slipped to a 4-month low at 7.050 million barrels per day. Data from the Joint Organizations Data Initiative, JODI, showed on Tuesday. Crude exports in May fell about 4.5% from about 7.382 million barrels of oil per day reported for April. Saudi Arabia more than doubled the amount of Russian fuel oil it imported in the second quarter to feed power stations to meet summer cooling demand and free up the kingdom's own crude for export, data showed and traders said last week. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Benchmark global copper prices face further losses for several months after a sharp drop from record levels, as government stimulus has yet to address the country's property sector, a major consumer of the industrial metal. Prices of copper, currently at around $7,300 a ton, have plummeted 30% since a record $10,845 in March, and are at their lowest since November 2020 due to weak demand in top consumer China where COVID lockdowns have stalled activity. Further undermining copper and other industrial metals, often seen as barometers of manufacturing health, are interest rates hikes to rein in inflation, which have hit economic growth in the United States, Europe and Asia.
The global nickel market increased its surplus to 20,700 tons in May from a surplus of 3,200 tons a month earlier, data from the International Nickel Study Group, INSG, showed on Monday. The INSG in April reported a deficit of 200 tons. During the first 5 months of the year, the global market was in a surplus of 16,100 tons compared with a deficit of 97,500 tons in the same period of 2021, Lisbon-based INSG added.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Asian buyers are ramping up palm oil purchases to replenish inventories after prices corrected to their lowest in a year and as top producer Indonesia has scrapped levies on exports. Buying by leading Asian importers such as India, China and Pakistan could support Malaysian palm oil futures, which fell to their lowest in a year last week. It will also help Indonesia to reduce stockpiles that swelled after its export ban earlier this year and pressured local prices lower and squeezed farmers' incomes. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.